Ooh, man, nice cracks. There you go. As they say, I'm a crack addict. That's going to be taken out of text, out of context. I actually super blessed. I think I found my forever masseuse. This gentleman is just outstanding. He's just powerful. He's a power lifter. He is a very kind-hearted person, and I have not felt pain like that since I was a tight end and linebacker and playing both positions back to back. Guy just beat me up thoroughly, and the conversation was fantastic, so I enjoyed it to the utmost degree. All right, so we're doing some half circles here. If you hear any whines and moans, it's from my body recovering from the beatdown, which was very much needed. I was a bigger guy. I'm about 192 centimeters, about 6'3", about 220 pounds. Or sorry, about 210 pounds. I've been shedding down again. I was up to about 220. And if y'all don't know, I was over 300 pounds, lost about 120 pounds, and now I'm just trying to stay as healthy as possible. I do this fitness stuff and training, a lot of body weight stuff, just to be able to give people the opportunity to do it along with me, to feel healthier, to feel better about themselves, like I did, over the past 10 years. And I've been doing these stretches for about 25 years now. I used to do it in, hey, morning, Thomas, good to see you. Let's go. And we've just been doing these stretches for 25 years or so. 5 years for teams, 10 years for community centers, different gyms, and then for the past 10 years in the corporate world. And what I found is that these stretches help to wake up my body incredibly well. And I just want to share that with y'all and talk about anything. If there's any ailments that you have in particular, please let me know, and we'll spend some extra time doing those types of movements and stretches, exercises for better fluidity for yourself. And hey, I think myself and everyone else on will benefit from it as well, to spend some extra time in those areas that are tight. I know my shoulder blades are super tight, as well as my entire shoulder cage in general after that wickedly good massage. Probably easily the best massage I've ever had in my life. And I'm super thankful that he's only a walk away. Lower back pain. Okay, we'll focus on some lower back stuff. Thank you, Thomas. Appreciate that. Okay, so with that being said, let's actually open up the lower back. We're going to do some more rebounding then today, as our focus will be the lower back. And we're just going to kind of just spread apart our legs as we go. Want to get different areas in our lower back loosened up. Want to rebound forward. Want to rebound backward. All right, we want to switch up those legs. We want to make sure that our whole nervous system is getting woke up. I want to wake up that nervous system here. Okay, so now with the lower back, a lot of the times it's our hamstrings. It is our glutes that are giving us problems. So we're just going to start tapping away at the back. We're going to wake up those muscles. Tell the nervous system, hey, I know you're in pain. I know everything's super tight. You might be working a physical job or had a good lift session, or maybe just sitting down too much. We need to wake up those muscles. Tell those muscles, hey, good morning. What's going on? How you feeling? And allow for the rebounding to open up the spinal cord and just get the nervous system locked in and going as best as possible. All right, so now we're going to do some cross bodies. Okay, so you want to make sure you get some air in there so that throughout the entire time that we're stretching, you can get air in and then push your tummy out a bit so that you're flexing your abdominals. You want to keep that core engaged so that as you're loosening up these muscles before you go to work, or maybe do a big deadlift in sesh, or just day to day like myself, where you want to be around your kids and you want to be able to sit down and do hours of work and then pop up at any time to get moving again. You want to be able to do these types of dynamic stretches to get the day rolling well. All right, so again, as we're going to focus a bit more on the back pain today, we are going to just do movements that help wake everything up, that are not too invasive. I had a person comment the other day that this is a chubby channel, and I am totally okay with that. I got my little sack here. I don't know if I'll ever get rid of it. I've been trying forever. I used to weigh over, again, 300 pounds. We're gonna do some outside leg scoops here. Just open up the hips, the inner leg, the inner groin area. Trying to come up with the right word, and all the wrong words are coming to my mind. Yeah, so my goal again is not to appease the masses. My goal is to help you get on with your day, and hey, I win too because I get to do this with y'all as well. All right, so again, for the lower back, we're going to be very gentle and ginger. We're just going to flow through. Just do that nice kickback. Get that squeeze. You want that squeeze to happen right in the glute there. So as you squeeze back, you're feeling a little bit of tension release and a little bit more mobility. All right, so now we're doing full body twists. Trying to get that back nice and warmed up, in particular the lower back. You really want to turn on that. You're going to feel it all across the back of your, what's it called again? I'm having a brain fart here. You should be able to feel it in your lats, as well as be able to feel it in your hips, your glutes, and your hamstrings. Then we can pick up the speed on it. Again, go whatever speed you like. The key is to do this for your long term. Hey, what's going on? What up, Josh? Hi from Bone. I'm from the GT Toronto. The Torontonians, the Ontarioians are here together. Good to see you again, Josh. All right. So now we are going to do our, we'll go into the movement for the gentle hips. Now again, because we're working on the lower back, this time around we're going to go a little deeper on the back end. But the thing is, you want to keep your eye line up. As you keep your eye line up, what ends up happening is you're telling your body, your entire body, because our bodies follow our eyes in many ways, just naturally. You're telling your body to keep that posture up. That's why in posture, for like sitting down at your computer or just posture in general driving, you want your eyes to be the gateway to those beautiful 90-degree angles. When you're sitting down, you want to have a 90-degree angle at your knee, your elbow, your back. And yeah, it's just one of those things where it will help you to have the right posture. See, as you just saw, I was looking for something, thinking about something, my whole body just started drifting downward. I want to keep those eyes up, especially if I'm doing something heavy like a deadlift. What days are you online? Hey Josh, I try to be on every day, every morning. Yesterday I couldn't. I had some meetings that I had to go to, but I try to be on between the hours of usually like 9:30 and around 11 or 12. So I usually post about an hour or two beforehand. So if you are subscribed to the channel, hopefully you'll either get that notification, or as you scroll in, hopefully you'll be able to connect that way. And in the future, if this gets enough of a growing following, I may end up having like an email blast to say when I'm going to do it. So it's a bit more of a personal connection than the subscriber side of things, or maybe the membership. But I've been in the infancy of YouTube for 15 years now. Things are starting to slowly pick up as I'm finding my niche, talking about faith, fitness, and fatherhood, as well as financials and food, fun on different levels, fidelity with my wife, being loyal to just my wife and family in general. So yeah, I may end up sending out an email because I do post 1-2 times a day, sometimes 3 times a day. So just keeping up with that is kind of difficult at times. I'm from Mexico, but I live in Vaughan. Wonderful. Hey, hola. Nice to have you on. And what's nice about the interwebs is, whether you stay in Toronto forever or long term, or if I move to, Venezuela, or, you head back to Mexico or somewhere else, good thing is we can keep connected. As I do it twice a day around this time, and in the evening when my wife is in bed and my kids are asleep, that's when I usually do the dishes, and that's when I do the dad doing dishes and talk about life and faith and things of that nature. Okay, so we're just going to start really getting them shoulders engaged now. Again, I had such an amazing massage yesterday. Everything is super tender, it hurts. Sometimes if you see me wincing, it's not the stretch itself, it's the fact that if I didn't pay the man, he would have been charged for battery, because man, he beat me up good. And it was a good pain. Like I was squinting, squealing, and hollering, and had great conversation too. Really, really great stuff. Just really, really fantastic massage. Okay, so now we're going to get into our mental resistance. So again, we're doing the rope pull. We're pulling all the way back. Thomas, I hope that's helped your back out a little bit to get warmed up. And we're doing full-on rope pull all the way. Again, if anyone has any other ailments or problems that they'd like me to help loosen up through dynamic movements, shoot me a message, and I would be more than happy to do that for you. Again, it's helping me out too and helping everyone else out online. Right, so now we're going to go into the chest pull. Now again, mental resistance is fantastic for waking the muscles up, as well as doing a little bit of muscle damage. Not in a bad way, muscle damage in the fact that you want to beat the muscle up so that you can replenish it with good rest, good hydration, good protein, and be able to have those muscles stay and or grow. The mental resistance not going to have you grow a lot, but it's tricking the brain into thinking that you're lifting something somewhat heavy or fairly heavy. And the more you focus in on those muscles, like for instance, as I'm pulling back right now, I'm feeling this definitely in my upper back, feeling it in my traps, feeling it in my triceps, and I'm squeezing almost as hard as I can to the point of shaking to tell my muscles, hey, you're doing something, right? You're working this muscle out. It's not like lifting things, it's not fighting gravity, but in some ways it's actually very good to not be fighting gravity as you get older, for that flexibility and for that long-term longevity. Maybe one day you could do the exercise in the parks in Toronto, Canada. People look, that is a fantastic idea, Josh. And maybe I will post where I'm doing it and we can meet up. You know what? That is, I think, the best idea I've heard in weeks and months on YouTube. That is brilliant, Joshua. Thank you so much for that suggestion. Yes, when the weather is better, I think I will make that known when I have some time to do it, and probably in the mid-afternoon, evening, when people probably have a bit more time, and just let people follow on. You know what? That is what a wonderful idea. Explore the different parks in the city. Benissimo, I love it. Yeah, 100%, John. And maybe even start halfway point or a little closer to you. Beautiful, beautiful idea. Thank you so much for that. The beauty of we'll do some chicken wing. The beauty of being on a platform like this, where we can have these conversations, be within arm's reach of each other, whether you're doing this on your small rectangle or bigger rectangle, or in person with others, man. Wow, that is amazing. Yep, people love nature. It'd be great to get different shots and views. Beautiful, Joshua. I just want to bless you and say thank you for that. That is an incredible idea, and I can't wait to do it now. You've got me going. It's just still, as you know, you're in Vaughan. We got this to deal with. Thankfully, my what's it called? My DJI mic Mini is fantastic in the various forms of weather too. So I am blessed to have this set. I should have some Amazon link and get some affiliation, but whatever. If you want to make content or want to have good conversations with people, the DJI Mic 2, you can get it probably for about $200 Canadian. It is worth every penny. My audio has been crystal clear. I wish I had done my previous 300 videos with it as well. All right, so we're just gonna again get that final loosening up. Thomas, if you have any other issues with your back, just let me know. Anyone else, if you'd like to chat or you'd like to hit that like button, that would be amazing, or subscribe. I would love that, as I try to do this every day around this time or an hour or so after. All right, so we're gonna start getting the hamstrings and glutes and everything woken up for the day. And so yesterday I was able to finish my stream on greed and generosity, the polar opposites of what is going to help you break addiction in your life. And it's one of those things where I've really seen that when people abandon greed, which is like self-care all the time and dealing with only self-reliancy, a lot of the different forms of addiction flow from a deep place of selfishness. And you don't care about other people. You are so caught up with your addiction, you need to feed the beast, feed you. And so the crux of the matter is that when you start beating your addiction, you usually, one of the great markers is that you become a generous person, that you want to share the gospel with people, you want to share the light with people, you want to share your hope, your future, and your finances. You want to share the things that are wonderful to you and in your life. Just check the chat here, Thomas. Great, loose now, brother. Wonderful. Glad to hear it. We're going to do some lunges now. We're going to do knees over toes, guy. Daily plug for probably the rest of my life. Just going to go to a deep dive here. So in dealing with those addictions, I spent 10 days dealing with the spiritual realm, why we are stuck in addictions, why we have these types of problems. And then I spent 10 in the mental. And now I'm going to be, now that I finished off episode 20 in the series, if you want to check out the live stream, you can, on greed, now I can move into the actual different addictions and take people through the last 10 steps, but I'm going to go a bit more rapid pace because it's not an overarching kind of viewpoint. It is more of a direct. It is the practical. It is the way you fight. For me, it was breaking addictions with stealing, with gambling, with anger, with X-rated content, with the lust in my heart. That was the next stage after kicking the PORN habit. And I only spell it out because algorithms and don't want to get shut down. But once I figured that out, then I had to deal with the lust within my own heart. I had to deal with the compulsions that I had, the shopping, the overspending, all of these things that are just trying to pull you down and hurt you and cause you to not deal with the problem at hand, but to numb the pain. But that numbing of pain just keeps coming back worse and worse every time. All right, so I'm just gonna come close to the camera. If you can brace yourself, just wanna keep your legs straight and you wanna just pop down and just get nice and deep as low as you can, just gently moving back and forth again. This isn't a stretch, this is dynamic movements. You're back up again, stretching down. And we're just trying to loosen up the back muscles again, legs super nice and straight. You want this to be a nice hamstring stretch, as well as for your mid-back. If you can get your mid-back engaged, try to keep that core nice and steady. All right, head back to our wall here if you got one. I'm gonna get your back flat against the wall here. I'm gonna scoot down. Josh, I think it's you. I'll get to that comment in a second. Here I am, I'm just popping up and down. Nice and fluid. Just coming through, getting them elbows to those lats. There we go, nice and smooth. And down we go. All right, back to knees over toes, guy. I'm gonna go a little wider, I got some good grip. One of these days I'm gonna fall through this window or I'm going to slide to my butt's death. But until then, I'm going to hope and pray that none of that happens in this amazing grip mat. I'm just flicking my toes up to the ceiling, keeping my legs as straight as possible, strengthening the knee as well as the shin. Yesterday I went to Vaughan Mills Mall about 10 a.m. and I watched a lady streaming a live show of products. Watched a lot of people following her. Hey, yeah, you know what? And it's multiple layers too. If you can stream people's products and you do it in a right and proper way, as well as Vaughan Mills Mall, multiple people, if you're doing things holistically and healthily, multiple people get blessed by that. All right, so I'm just gonna pop my shoes off here for a second. If you're in an opportune place to do that, and I'm just going to walk on the outsides of my feet. I'm just going to walk on the insides, and I do this usually when I'm brushing my teeth. The main reason I do that is so that I can strengthen the tendons and ligaments in my foot so that I don't roll my ankles anymore. Many times I look for her doing something in the mall. Yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of streaming. You can really connect with people on a personal level, and you have this message you need to share or want to share, and all of a sudden you can meet those people, which is really cool. Again, if they're accessible, because there are a lot of people who are different in real life than they are, behind the tiny little rectangle. I pray to God that I'm not, and I stay linear, but only time will tell with whatever love, successes, hopes, and dreams and things God brings my way. All right, so now we're gonna get some deep body squats in. If you can push through your heels, that's wonderful. If you can't, that's okay. Just do whatever you can. So I'm here, I'm popping up, then I'm getting a nice little squeeze at the top ball with my calves. Down and then up in fluid through. Yeah, so anyway, to make a long story short about the stream, the main concept is, again, dealing with that what feels like one of the last steps in the mental side of things, which is to have an open hand. Once you've been able to recover from a lot of your hurts and pains, being able to share with others and to be a good influence is very much needed in our world today. And so when you do that, you are really destroying the addiction in your life. It's like the last level, the last stage before you move into the day-to-day, how am I saying this? When you move in the day-to-day promptings and in the day-to-day struggles in life, when you have that generosity bone, that muscle, those ligaments and tendons all getting stronger, it's going to be harder and harder for selfishness to creep in, because you're going to be filling yourself up with so much joy. Even in a worldly context, it's a scientific fact that when you give, you're getting a rush of endorphins. You're just getting a rush in general. Your body is just, you feel euphoric. And there's a reason why God instituted that, is that when your heart changes, you are a different person. In Square One Mall, about 9 a.m. before the mall, people get there. People are streaming Tai Chi. Yeah, oh wow, that's amazing. I did not know that was a thing. I wonder if they had to get a permit. But hey, you know what? All the power to them. They probably got a following. They want to help their community. And yeah, well, thank you so much, Josh, for sharing all this insight and information. Yeah, I probably have a lot more to learn from you as time goes on. So please keep coming on the chat, and love chatting to people. It's I've got the gift of gab from the Lord. All right, so now we're just winding down. And if anyone has any other ailments they'd like me to help dynamically move into to get some more flexibility, that would be wonderful. And if you have any other quick questions about health or fitness, family, food, philanthropy, well, that's a PH, fun, fitness, fidelity, anything like that, please let me know in the chat, or in the future in the comment section if you're watching this post stream. All right, so just gonna get down nice and low, get a little twist on. And I think one exercise that I didn't do here, one dynamic, is I didn't get the full on stretch in here, back and forth. Like I said before, if you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe, and would love to connect with you, as I do this almost every day. I stream in the evenings as well. I stream usually about 2 times per day, 4, 5, 6 times a week. So yeah, please come and join me on the journey if you'd like. All right, so we're just gonna finish up with our final scoops here. This is our thumbs out. We wanna open up our chest, and we wanna, again, fight all that negative stuff, all that sitting on the computer all day, all that processing of information that we tend to lean over and cause ourselves to be stressed out, as well as doing the dishes and vacuuming and driving, all that stuff that causes all that stress in our chest, in our shoulders, in our upper and lower back. We just want to do nice scoops here. Just make sure the thumbs are out so we can help our posture out. All right, so let me finish by saying, if you'd like to check out any other videos, please do them right here. They're in the workout section down here in the playlist. If you'd like to subscribe, you can do that right here. I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Have yourself a wonderful day, evening, morning, or night. God bless.